All right, Ken Orange Theory Trader back with another video, just a watch list for next week. So the emphasis on this watch list is going to be small candle ranges. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I mention that, you need to go back in the channel and look at the video called This Signal Appears Hours Before a Big Price Explosion. So the criteria is as simple. We're looking for candle ranges on the weekly that are 50 pips or less. Okay, 50 pips or less. And then on the daily, we look for pairs that are like 10 pips or less, 15 pips or less, nothing more than like, I'd say 20. So because it just as a brief rationale, the rationale is this. This is a weekly chart, this weekly range right here. And I use the ATR candle size indicator to see what the size is. So the number on the bottom left in gray tells me the price movement from the open to the close. So this candle right here, this range from open to close was 17 pips for the entire week, but the ATR was 291 pips. So we expect a tight body, a tight candlestick body, to lead to a massive expansion. So the very next week, there was a 498 pip drop from the top to the bottom. So plenty of opportunity there. But what led to this big drop is this price action right here. Okay, and this is just CRT candle one, candle two, candle three. So that's what we're looking for moving forward. Emphasis on tight ranges, trying to get a piece of the expansion candle that we hope to follow. All right, so weekly chart. And then for the daily chart, I look at pairs that are less than, I like to see single digits, 9 pips for the day, 10 pips for the day. Really nothing less, nothing more than like 15 or so, just as tight as possible. So that's that. Okay, so different criteria for the weekly versus the daily when I look for tight ranges or small ranges. So here we go. So I'll only mark the one. I'm not going to go through all the pairs. These are just the ones that stand out. If the pair is not marked, that means the range wasn't tight enough for me to be interested. So this past week for a Swiss yen, the range was 55 pips, a little over 50, but in that general range. And you got what I believe is a candle one, candle two. So I'm looking for expansion to the downside. That's that one. Aussie yen, we have what I believe is candle one, candle two. This candle here is 39 pips. This is a 39 pip body for the whole week, but the range is 231. So I'd like to see a massive move to the downside for next week. New Zealand, this candle range was 28 pips. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and organize these based on the smaller ranges first. So that was 28, 55, 39. So we'll put that there. Okay, so yeah, so Aussie was 39. I think I already did that. Okay, NJ 28. But the ATR is 179. So we're expecting a massive move to the downside next week. And then Euro was 52. So we'll leave that where it is. 55 and 52 for these two. So these two will be on the bottom half. Either one could work, but yeah, that was that. But the smaller ranges, of course, smaller ranges to me get priority. One other thing, though, you may want to keep in mind as well is proximity to candle two's close, proximity of candle two's close to candle one's high, which is this line right here. The honestly the best type of setup in all honesty is if the closer price closes to candle one's high, the better. But just be aware if it breaks above it, then you could be wrong about the direction. So just keep that in mind. But I do like it when candle two closes close to candle one's high. You can use a candle one stop out. You can check out the stop loss video for that information about where to place stop loss levels depending on where your trade is. Okay, so that's the weekly for shorts. So now we drop down to the daily and we look at long. I'm sorry, daily, and we're looking at daily shorts. So let's see. Why is this on here? Is this old? 32 pip range. I'm not sure why this is marked. Should this be under weekly? Sorry about that. I'm just confused on my own. Okay, this should be under weekly. My bad. We're going to put that there. This was a 5 pip range, which is that's the tightest out of all of them. We're going to put you number one. But see how far it is, as far away it is from candle one's high. So I'm not very excited about that. However, it's okay because if we get that straight drop, that'll be good. And it's only 40 or so pips, so we'll see how it opens. But I do like that though. A 5 pip range and the ATR is 84. That's a very wide disparity. So that's the tightest range out of all of them. All right, so CAD yen, I'm pretty sure was daily. Yeah. All right. All right, so if we drop down to the daily chart for CAD yen, the range was only 9 pips. So I love to see it. So I believe we have candle one, candle two. We'd love to see just straight drop all Monday. Okay, but remember the daily is only good for the following day or two, as long as the high of what you think is candle two holds. because sometimes this pair will still, the price will still consolidate. It can consolidate two days in a row. Okay, so that's that. Now let's do the longs real quick and we'll be done. No dailies, so we only have weekly long biases. So let's go through and we'll get them organized as well. Let's see. Euro Swiss had a 4 pip range. This ATR is 71 pips, so we expect price movement to the upside. Let me draw the range. There we go. Let's see. Pound New Zealand. This is awesome right here. I like this. This had an 11 pip range, but its ATR is 272. Right? That's really good. Again, no guarantees, but just using history as a precursor. See how these two ranges, and sometimes you'll have this where the weeks, you can get 2 weeks worth of consolidation as well. Because I promise, somebody was long right here. They got a little bit of price action, but then price just, spiked both ways. But see how this right here is 7 pips. This range right here, 7 pip range. And then the next week, 5 pip range. It got even tighter, right? And then boom, this candle right here was 319 pips from top to bottom. So these are the only type of candles I want to trade. So I had to study, okay, what leads to these? And the most consistent thing I saw is tight candles. These tight candles lead to these expansions. So I'm only focusing on tight ranges. So that's that. So now you have a 11 pip range here. So we're expecting price to go to the upside there. And last but not least, I took an entry on this before it closed and then just closed out for a profit. I didn't want to hold over the weekend. So let me get rid of that entry. I did win though, but that was good. And then lastly, this has a 3 pip range and its ATR is 227. So, what I like to do, you just look back a little bit and see, okay, what was the last expansion that worked out? This was for the weekly. So this was, remember I said 40 or 50 or less for the weekly. So this right here was a 42 pip range here, candle 2, and it led to a 237 pip drop from open to close. So I'm just looking for history to repeat, that's all, but this time in the opposite direction. Another good thing that has this going in its favor is the 2 ranges back to back. So you have a 17 pip range here and a 3 pip range here. So it got even tighter. And where did we just see that? We saw that right here. A 7 pip range here and a 5 pip range here, and then boom, 319 pips. So I'm actually going to put Euro Aussie in the front because of these 2 ranges back to back. I like seeing that. So we're expecting a massive move, and hopefully it goes to the upside, but there's no guarantee it's going to go to the upside. The only I say guarantee is that you'll have an expansion, but it could just as easily keep going down. There are no guarantees with this thing. So that's where risk management comes in. Okay. But we're just believing based on our, we're just anticipating that price will go up. But if it doesn't, then, it is what it is. But it's going to do something. It's been winding up for 2 weeks. So something's coming. And it looks like there's some news here as well. So that could be the catalyst. But that's it. So that's everything I had marked. Again, if a pair wasn't on here, it didn't have a range I was interested in. But I appreciate your time and attention. Thanks for watching. If you, like I said, you want to know more about the tight ranges, go to that video that's called "This Signal Appears Hours Before a Big Price Expansion." And I go a little more into detail. But thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and take care.